Good morning and welcome to SpaceX and Axiom Space's Splashdown coverage of Ax-3, the third crewed mission to the International Space Station by Axiom Space. I'm Jesse Anderson, a manufacturing engineering manager here at SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California.
And I'm John Rackham, spacesuit ventilation lead for Axiom Space, based in Houston, Texas. With over 21 days in space, our crew spent just over 18 days aboard the International Space Station. And while on board, they experienced more than 288 orbits and covered over 7.6 million miles. And now we are in the final phase of their journey. Over the next hour, we will follow the return of Commander Michael Lopez-Alegria, Walter Villadei, Alper Gezeravcı, and Marcus Wandt as they splash down off the coast of Florida and bring the operational phases of the Ax-3 mission to a close.
Over the last 40 hours, Dragon has been moving into position for re-entry with downhill phasing burns, firings of Dragon's Draco thrusters to adjust the spacecraft's orbit in advance of returning to Earth. The next action coming up for Dragon will be to jettison the trunk, which is the cylindrical, unpressurized part of the spacecraft. Once the trunk is separated, Dragon will be running entirely on battery power. The trunk is currently connected to the aft or the bottom section of the Dragon capsule where the heat shield is located. From there, the spacecraft will use its forward Draco thrusters to perform a deorbit burn, which will last about 9 minutes, and put Dragon on a trajectory to return to Earth. This will be the last time that we use those forward bulkhead thrusters. After that, we will close and lock the nose cone in preparation for re-entry. During re-entry, as Dragon passes back into the Earth's atmosphere, we will have an expected loss of communication, sometimes referred to as an LOS, or loss of signal. This particular LOS is caused by the friction of the spacecraft pushing through the air at a high rate of speed to the point that it builds up a layer of super hot plasma around the vehicle. This plasma will dissipate and the communications will resume once the vehicle slows down. This LOS should last approximately 7 minutes. Throughout this time, nitrox is used to cool the cabin and the suits to keep the crew comfortable. Nitrox is a mixed breathable gas that is also used in scuba diving. After we regain communication with Dragon, we'll have a couple minutes before the drogue parachutes deploy. These are the two smaller parachutes that are designed to stabilize Dragon and begin to slow it down. Less than a minute after the drogue parachutes deploy, we'll see release of the 4 main parachutes. These are the big orange and white parachutes that further slow the vehicle down. Over the course of 3 minutes, the drogues and the mains work together to bring the vehicle's velocity from 350 miles per hour down to just 15 miles per hour, at which point Dragon will splash back down on Earth.
And when it does, SpaceX knows exactly where Dragon is expected to land, with recovery teams pre-positioned in the area. These teams are trained to quickly make contact with the Dragon spacecraft, secure it, and then hoist it aboard the main recovery vessel. From there, teams will open the hatch and help Commander MLA.
5 minutes. SpaceX Dragon, wake up.
Well, now that our crew are safely back home on Earth and getting the first checks by SpaceX and Axiom Space medical teams, we're going to wrap up our live coverage of their historic return. Ax-3 lifted off from launch pad 39A on Thursday, January 18th, and arrived at station 36 hours later. They spent over 21 days in space, 18 of those days on the International Space Station before undocking just over 2 days ago. And this morning at 5:30 a.m. Pacific time, they splashed down off the coast of Daytona, Florida.
And it has been an amazing journey. So once their first medical checks are complete, they'll catch a helicopter flight back to shore, where they will transfer to a waiting aircraft ready to take them to Houston. While this concludes the flight portion of the Ax-3 mission, much of the research portfolios that were performed on station will continue to be reviewed and analyzed over the coming weeks. So some of their studies will even continue over the coming days and months. So Jesse, it's been an amazing time spending this desk with you from undock all the way through splashdown. It's been an absolute honor, so thank you very much. And to SpaceX, thank you for an incredible flight and taking such great care of our crew as we saw today and throughout the entire mission. To NASA and all the International Space Station partners who have enabled access to the orbiting laboratory and made the efforts of Axiom Space, Italy, Türkiye, and ESA possible, thank you. We look forward to collaborating with you again soon with Ax-4. And all of you watching, it's been an honor and a privilege to share the journey of MLA, Walter, Alper, and Marcus to space and back again. So as we bring this mission to a close, we celebrate how the Ax-3 mission continues to demonstrate that the opportunities presented in microgravity have grown to include more countries, more institutions, industries, and individuals than ever before. So through missions like this, we are redefining the pathway to low Earth orbit and building for beyond. So be sure to check out axiomspace.com to learn more about flight opportunities available along our journey to the world's first International Space Station. I'm John Rackham, and we're signing off now with a welcome home to the crew of Ax-3.
And I'm Jesse Anderson. Thanks to everyone for joining us on another successful mission to the International Space Station. Be sure to tune in for our next human spaceflight mission, NASA's Crew 8, which is just a few weeks away. Check out spacex.com/launches for updates and for the schedule of upcoming missions. We'll see you again soon.